Also, guys, so deload week. What is a deload? A deload is a way of us not hitting plateaus, and obviously, what happens is over time when you're training, depending on your program and how taxing it is, if you're on strength or hypertrophy, it's going to change. Typically, it's around about 6 to 8 weeks that you will need to deload. Bit longer for strength actually because you're doing actually less volume, even though it's still taxing. You can actually typically go up to like 16 weeks, 32 weeks at some points. Hypertrophy normally, which is what most people typically do with me because they want to work on toning, and that's the best way to do it. Typically 6 to 8 weeks. Over that time, the central nervous system is going to accumulate fatigue, and over time that is going to make your sessions a lot harder. Weights will become a lot harder to move than what they used to be. So like picking up like a 20 kg and then ripping it out for 10 you'll be struggling around about 7 or 8 reps. It will feel harder than it normally does for some reason. You typically might have a bit of low energy going on as well, like you just feel sleepy and lethargic and like can't be bothered. That's a good sign that your body's just telling you, we need to just dial back a little bit and recover and recuperate. So a deload is just helping you recuperate. And it also stops you from hitting a plateau. So obviously when you get to that moment where you're like low, you're not going to be able to progress anymore because your body can't do it. It's not possible. So a deload, all we typically do is just drop down a little bit with reps or volume, and then we'll build you back up again over a couple of periods of a couple of weeks, and then we'll peak you up at the top again. So towards the end you'll peak, and then obviously at the end of that mesocycle, you will drop back down on a deload and then build back up again. It's a slow process. It takes a couple of weeks to build back up, but don't worry about if you're not hitting PBs once you start doing deloads. Most people, when they're starting training, don't need a deload for months before that starts to kick in and you start to fatigue. It's normally for more, I'd say, past beginner, but not intermediate, if that makes sense. Intermediates will definitely need deloads quite often, 6 to 8 weeks most times. All that else, you know what a deload is now, and when they come along, enjoy them. Don't worry about it if you don't feel like you're working too hard. You actually really need it. It's going to help you work harder later on, and it does work. You don't lose muscle at any point unless you stop training, if that makes sense. And that's it, guys. I'll see you later.